Now, I'm aware that this is going to sound like a really pompous title for a video, but I really am negotiating a completely different and new relationship with time. And I actually think that this might be one of the most controversial subjects to talk about, because what you'll see online is that, you've got to be doing absolutely everything every single day, and there's absolutely no room in there for the ebb and flow of life being spontaneous. It's something that we're really losing. And there's somebody that I follow on Twitter, and he's a young lad. And the thing is, I am 44 years old, and I'm making this video on the back of a conversation of talking about audiences. Who are you actually really aiming your content at? And the truth is, I've been a bit vague about it, a little bit ambiguous, and sort of a bit nervous actually to really hone in on who it is that I'm aiming this message at. And the truth is that I've been trying to appeal to everybody, to as many people as possible, every kind of man. But the truth is that my content is actually for an older audience of men that knows that there's really great stuff in them, the stuff that they want to do, but haven't actually achieved yet. And the truth is, it might feel like your demographic, who you're aiming your content at, is a really small pool of people. But the truth is, that is actually all that you need. But when you're talking about being online, even if you're focusing most of your efforts on one platform, I do a lot of stuff on Twitter, I do stuff here on YouTube, and you could potentially be talking about an audience of tens of millions of people, millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people. You don't actually need that enormous an audience. And there are a few people that I used to watch, semi-religiously, as I do, sat out here in the evening with my Phantom of the Opera shadow face, who now have enormous followings of millions. But what you will see that over time, and this might sound like sour grapes, but what you will see over time is some of the allowances that they have to make for their message. And it's a very, very rare person that stays really true and authentic to their message and grows an enormous platform. There are always sacrifices that you have to make in terms of how you communicate, what you talk about, who you talk about. And what I really want to do is develop a platform for older men, the 40 plus category of men that have done things here and there, have achieved really great things, but haven't consolidated it. And when I'm talking about renegotiating, a relationship with time, what I'm really talking about is not actually slowing down exactly, but it is starting to be more conscious. Because one of the things I really noticed about myself is that I rush around, often in a terrible hurry, very, very, very hard on myself. And so when I'm wandering around and I can feel myself racing, I think to myself, well, who am I racing against? Who am I comparing myself to? And I realize that I'm walking a unique path, as is everybody. And periodically, what I do, and I've done this in a quite focused way, in who I follow, unsubscribing from various things, not placing so much emphasis on content that I'm getting from other creators, and focusing far more on my own path and doing what I need to do, and realizing that everybody has a different approach. Everybody has things that work for them, and there's nothing wrong with getting inspiration from those people. But you realize that ultimately what's going to work for them is not going to work for you. You're a different person, you're at a different stage of life, you have a different combination of talents, you have a different background, you have all these different things. You have to remember to bring yourself back to yourself. And a little while ago, it's actually something that resulted from a therapy session, was an idea that came to me in a flash while I was speaking with my therapist, of radical stopping. And I don't necessarily do that all the time, but there are some times if I'm in a particular rush and I'm feeling a bit frantic and I'm in beautiful surroundings, it's like, stop, okay? Stop. Look around at the trees, listen to the bird song, hear the rustling of the undergrowth as the wildlife of this area, of the squirrels and the badgers, rummaging around, looking for food, crossing different pathways, observing. So, and this is a part of my push and my focus on peacefulness. It's about leaving room to appreciate and be grateful for all the great things that are actually around you. It can feel like there's no hope, everything's gloomy, but it's not. It is a fantastic time to be alive. I will not allow my spirit to be dampened by circumstances. What I will do with various circumstances that are going on is, as during COVID, I also know I'm not going to have the jab. No, I'm not going to wear the mask. No, I'm not going to walk in that direction because it's all bullshit. There's always stuff like that happening all the time. And yes, it's being ramped up, but you don't have to fall down to that particular level. And just see everything as an opportunity, not to fight, but to stand up for what's right. And peacefulness to me, and this is something that's come to me in the last few days, is I've allowed myself to be even more reflective and contemplative, actually, is that peacefulness is not just a destination, it's actually an approach to things. And what I noticed that in the advent of Charlie Kirk's hideous death, that absolutely hideous affliction that befell that lovely young man, and really sitting with that of a life that was so short, but in which so much that young man did, I thought, well, this is an opportunity to actually take stock and really start to appreciate the journey that I'm on, and to have a more peaceful approach to things, to understand what my mission is, who I'm aiming things at, and we tweak and we refine as we go, and we use inspirational figures to actually realize the own innate greatness that's in us, and to never ever allow the circumstances going on around you to actually detract from your mission. Because I found that for a few days, in the last week or so wasn't able to write because I was trying to manipulate my message and tailor my message to a particular sort of series of world events, political events. And I thought, no, those are all distractions to take me away from what my calling is. And now that writing, doing videos, doing this, what I realise is that no matter what's going on around you, there are always the people in history who overcome the adversity, who keep marching forward and doing their thing regardless of what's going on, because it's the right thing to do, to keep speaking to your people in your voice, in your own way, to be a shining beacon of light in the night for those people, because we all need it. And there are many of us out there, myself included, who understand that there are opportunities everywhere. There's the opportunity to really speak your own message in a joyful and encouraging way, and that we know that ultimately, no matter what's going on in the world, that we do overcome. But we also have the humility and patience to realize that, temporarily speaking, in terms of time, that things might not transpire in the way that you wish in the next week or the next month or next year or 5 or whatever it is, but we stay true to ourselves. We do what's necessary to keep advancing our own positive missions, and to be a port in a storm for all of those that are trying to do the same. So I thank you very much for listening. Please do like and subscribe and share to spread this very important message. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now.